For me, traveling is a very important activity. It's not just to go and see some monuments and all that, but traveling is to learn about other people. I was so lucky that through all my searches, I ran across the UNHCR representative purely by accident. And I started talking to her, and we started masterminding how we are going to do this. I started feeling that I need to do this trip in a sense that our students get a lot more out of this.
Satik has the most personal connection going to Armenia, being an Armenian, but what really means a lot to us is to bring students to a place that a lot of people don't go to. She asked the guitar students originally to vote, and it was unanimous, from what I understand, that it was going to be Armenia. I thought it would be a great opportunity to just bring students here and interact with the people.
I came to Armenia when I was 9 years old to meet my mother's family, and a lot of memories have stuck with me, just kind of like flies to a fly trap. Growing up in LA, the Armenian culture there is very different. I like it a lot more here. It feels like home.
You see people around and it just seems like they're just enjoying the moment day to day instead of like in LA. It's always so rushed.
I've been taken by how every conversation I've had with like someone here, they all will say like, oh, I sing or I play the piano or I write poems, and it's all important. And I feel like back home, it's kind of more rare to see that.
We have a lot of people with Armenian ties in our ensemble, so it's really nice to get to see more of their culture. I feel like I'm seeing part of them almost.
In Armenia, even the everyday person has an appreciation for the arts that is much more visible than, back home in the States, where people can appreciate it, but, on their time, when they want to appreciate it, as opposed to where everyone, even passing, can sort of appreciate what you're doing or what they're seeing or listening to.
One of the most special parts was the way the students from our home, Cal State LA, ended up in Armenia, which is a very homogenous society, and we brought our American eclecticism there.
That's the beauty of music. There's no boundaries, there's no borders. What music does to you, that's what's important.
It was our privilege when Satik Andreasyan reached out to us and said they wish to visit Armenia. That in itself is what Naregati does, creating a bridge, not just among artists and talented people in Armenia, but also overseas. Art can be the remedy for so many obstacles or so many things that can be healed. And we need a lot of healing, the way the world is headed. And music is one of those avenues.
Well, I hope we're bringing something different to music culture here, something from our perspective. I want to spark an interest in all kinds of music, just like everyone going off in different directions, but with the same thing in mind, is like their love for music.
I feel like people here pay attention more to the music. They're just like, you did so well, you did so good, it was beautiful. They are always so genuine with how they react. That's something that I feel like is really cool.
Our museum was established and founded by an Armenian-American businessman and philanthropist, Mr. late Gerard Kveshen. And our vision and mission is presenting the best of Armenian culture to the world and bringing the best of contemporary art from around the world to Armenia. And I think today's concert was a very cool combination and representation of what we as an institution stand for.
Playing with the Armenian guitarists, they were great. They're very talented. And it was nice being able to rehearse with them as well and adjusting our playing to match theirs.
Իմ համար էս առաջին անգամն են, որ ես մասնակցում եմ համերգի, սենց ավելի շատ բարձր մակարդակի, կազմակերպված համերգի։ Զգացողությունները մի փոքր լարված էի, քանի որ առաջին անգամն էր, շատ լարված էի։
Դե տարբերություն ես ավելի փորձառու եմ, շատ համերգների մասնակցել եմ, ես շատ վստահ եմ զգում եւ կարևորը շատ հաճելի զգացողություն է։ Չէ, ցանկալի է որ նման համագործակցություն շատ լինի շարունակաբար։
I remember the struggle when we first started learning the Armenian pieces because it was so different. It was like sounds that we are not used to listening to and everything. And then I feel like we came here and we were joined by the Armenian players, and then it brought like a different feeling of how it is to play that music. I thought it was so cool that I felt like people received it well, that we were playing like their music, because that's Armenian music.
To me, being Armenian means loving your country, loving your people, and being kind and good and supportive to each other first, so we can receive that back from other people as well.
Հայ լինելն ինձ թվում է ամեն մեկին մաղթ վիճակված չի, ու ես շատ ուրախ եմ, որ հայ եմ, ու ես շատ ազատ եմ զգում իմ Հայաստանում, իմ հայրենիքում, ու ինձ ուրիշ տեղ չեմ պատկերացնում։
Ինձ համար հայ լինելը մեծ պատիվ է, մեծ հպարտություն է, քանի որ ես լավ գիտեմ մեր պատմությունը, ցավալի է, որ մեր հայ ժողովուրդը ինքը չգիտի իր պատմությունը եւ դրանով չի կարողանում ինքը իրեն հայ զգալով այն հպարտությունը զգա, ինչ որ ես եմ զգում։
We have been through turmoil all throughout our history, and probably right now is one of the very crucial times, and I think the world needs to look at Armenia and just ask the question, how can we let a group of human beings go through the same thing that we have gone through over and over throughout the history?
I think that by Armenia reminding us all of those events is an opportunity for us to learn.
It's dedicated to Armenian genocide. It's very tragic and the sad things behind these powerful colors, vibrant colors. People doesn't understand that, doesn't go through that. But my language is different. It's just a scream of your soul, you know. I want to see the world in a harmony. People love each other without, you know, genocides, without killing, without wars, without destruction, etc., etc. So all positive and optimistic things.
Early on, when I talked to Ms. Hayrapetian, our UNHCR's representative, I realized that there's so many refugee communities in Armenia. I never knew that. And that's when I really felt that this trip is a lot more than just traveling with students and going abroad. It became a very important experience because living in the United States, we don't see what's going on in this part of the world.
I feel privileged that I was able to perform for the event, just because I think it's an important cause, because, you know, like they said, you know, there are 35 million refugees in the world today, and to be able to be at an event to play for them and to support them, I think was very nice.
After the performances, hearing that there were like parents singing to their children like the Armenian folk songs, or that people in general like singing in the crowd recognizing the pieces was really, really cool. So just seeing that, like putting that effort in, seeing like real results from that, and like it was just really, really special.
Playing those folk songs for them as like foreigners, that's a joyful thing for them to see, I think. And I feel that Armenians need that. There's been a lot of sadness in our history, so it fills my heart to be able to bring joy here to our audiences.
We had to make sure these refugee places we would be going were relatively safe. But then soon I found out that's not as easy, because on a daily basis, weekly basis, things changed. But thanks to our representative, UNHCR's representative, it worked out beautifully. She is very aware of what are the stuff that's going on in different communities, and she guided us through, and we ended up having this wonderful experience, being able to, even just for a moment, for a few minutes, add to their lives.
When I first got to the villages and stuff like that, I went into it with a very open mind, because I think it's best to, when you explore a new place, no matter where it is in the world, I think it's to just arrive and kind of politely observe, not get in the way of the flow of life there, but be someone who's there because you genuinely are interested and care about what's going on there.
After I learned about why the kids were there and the kind of stuff that some of those kids have seen and some of the stuff they've gone through, it's amazing to me how much they're able just to keep looking forward and stay positive through art and music.
The whole experience of meeting these kids, not even necessarily hearing their stories, but just knowing that they needed something and that we needed to, uplift their lives was really special.
I grew up training as a dancer, so Satik came up to me and she asked me if I would want to have a dance activity with the kids, providing this joyful experience. That was really fun.
Originally, I'm part of the film crew, so I was surprised that she actually approached me to become a part of the dance, help with the dancing, because I've never even danced before in my life. I felt that was really kind of like a bonding moment with them. I would say interacting with the children opened my eyes, honestly, to how open they were to interact with someone outside of their small little country.
I was a little nervous about interacting with the kids because I regretted not learning more Armenian beforehand, but actually being there, one of the funnest and the funniest parts is that we were communicating without speaking the same language. A lot of our communication was just through song and dance. There was no words that needed to be spoken. I think we all just felt the love there for each other.
It was refreshing to see kids just being kids, despite the circumstances. There are many people overseas where their life is both simpler yet infinitely more difficult. And that's something that I don't think we should take for granted here. And I think it's important to be able to contribute and give back.
We spend our whole lives drilling down into the history of what we do and refining the craft of what we do. I mean, it's important, but sometimes the most touching moments are coming together because of music for kids who just needed some relief from their lives and such. And so I wanted to share that with the students too, to make sure that everyone remembers that the payback is often what we give to society.
This trip and how it's been received by people in the audience has kind of brought brightness to it. Just seeing people genuinely compliment our performances and see that they find joy in what we do makes it be like our work matters and the effort we put into it matters.
This must be a dream. A 2-week-long dream, The first opportunity I got to walk by myself down the street and just hearing all the conversations around me and the trees swaying and the sun hitting me, that's why I'm here. That felt beautiful to me.
For me, the first things that come up when I think about Armenia are its people, the music, and the dancing for sure. I just remember this very communal family kind of feeling, very homey and welcoming. So I really like that.
I think that the spirit of Armenia is just It's resilient. They're so proud of their country, rightfully so. And before I had no really connection to it, but now it's a place that I hold really close to my heart.
There's a joy that's palpable in the people there. It's just, from the little that I got to see, I could just see the depth of the history, and to be there at the center of it all. It was a wonderful experience.
Watching everything evolve and watching the comfort everyone seems to have in being here, I think that's kind of the highlight for me, because it was just the expression of joy, the expression of just, you know, the love that was being shared was really, really special. I don't think I'm ever going to forget that.
By knowing other people, knowing how they live, you find out that there's so much more similarities than differences. And for young people to experience that and build a more peaceful future is very important. I wanted every student just feel like what a difference they can make through expressions, through music. We can make a difference in our own lives and in other people's lives.